Nathan Bedford Forrest. Now, you may know him as either a plantation owner, maybe a millionaire, possibly a Confederate general, or maybe even the first wizard of the KKK. Well, this is his story. Now, Nathan Bedford Forrest, as I mentioned, he was a millionaire. He had a plantation. I mean, it's the South at the time, like slavery time. That's Forrest. Yeah, look at him. He was rich. He had money, banked. Like he was a businessman. He had a lot of money. At this time, the South and the North had gotten into their little Civil War phase. They broke up. The South, they didn't agree with the North. The North didn't agree with the South. Lincoln was going crazy. The South is like, we're done, and they're over. Now, during this, Forrest had enlisted as a private, but he was like kind of not doing much, and he wanted to do more. And so, after a few missions being carried out, he decided to fund his own little section of the army. So, as I mentioned before, he was a millionaire, and he thought of this an amazing plan. Look at him. Look at the little hat. Anyways, he thought of this amazing plan where he went to the bank or just had money. Think about it. He had money, and he literally funded his own army. He got resources. He got men. He got ammo and food and all the things you need in order to successfully have an army. And it was pretty successful, at least for having no war experience. Ulysses Grant, a very notable figure on the Union. He's the president after Lincoln. Had captured Forrest after one of his missions, and instead of Forrest just letting him stay captured, instead he actually went, and him and his men somehow escaped one of the best generals on the Union. They escaped into the mountains and ran off. Another notable figure, his name is Robert E. Lee. If you don't know who that is, that's also another general from the Confederacy. When asked who was the greatest general, he said someone he's never met before, which was Forrest, and he said that's the greatest general probably. One of the things that proved Forrest to be like a good general and why so many people thought so was because of his battle tactics. One example is right here at this mountains. He was facing a Union officer or general that had 3 times as many men than he did. So what he did is he made his men go over and over again up the mountains to make it seem like he had more men. And he somehow captured the Union base and successfully won because he had just outsmarted them. Grant also agreed that one of the best things to come, or one of the best generals to come out of the Civil War was Forrest. Mind you, this is the opposing side, and Forrest had respect from Grant, literally on the Union. One other general was William Sherman. He was on the Union as well, and he literally said that they somehow need to stop Forrest because Forrest was too low-key OP. They were saying that it didn't matter how much people, how much money it was, we had to stop him. But also Forrest contributed to one of the most controversial things of the Civil War, is this attack on Fort Pillow. It was an attack that was mostly based on who was there, which was Union supporting Southerners, and then also African Americans that were enlisted in the army. There was only 500 to 600 Union soldiers, and from it being a battle, it became a massacre. Around 200 to 300 soldiers from the Union had died alone. And one of the main reasons, again, was due to this race. And it was compared to 17 Confederate soldiers that had died, It was it's pretty one of the most controversial attacks. After Reconstruction, of course, we know, Civil War, North wins, crazy, woo. After Reconstruction, hate groups were created, such as the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, as we know. And from 1865 to 1876, 2,000-ish racial attacks had happened, such as lynchings or attacks on institutions like black churches, etc. Well, who was the KKK leader? None other than Forrest. Crazy, He participated in this, and his effect left like a huge domino effect. So that also he was named. It's also called a wizard, the leader of the KKK, because it's named after him. One of his nicknames was the Wizard of the Saddle because of how quote unquote good of a general he was, and like how he would attack you like on his little horse, you know. So he was named after Wizard of the Saddle, which is why it's called the Wizard of the leader of the KKK is called the Wizard. Fun fact: Forrest Gump. He's named after this guy because apparently Forrest Gump's like ancestor. He created a domino effect of the KKK, respect from the opposing side. He changed how war was in general. Literally, people like praise him in a way. He was a self-rose general, and he was that dedicated. He's pretty influential. Not saying he's good, but he's pretty influential with what he's done.